welcome to First Aid for Families. I'm Sarah. I hope you are all well this evening. I'm just going to wait a little while, see if anyone pops on this fine evening. Finally the sun has come out. Well, not now, it's dark, and yeah, it's been a nice day. Well, it depends on where you are in the UK or globally. I hope you've had a nice day. Some of us have got children back at school, some haven't at the moment, so I'm sure we're finding this an interesting time. I think mine are back in, a week on Monday, so we'll see how that goes. Right, I will get started, and today I'm going to talk about fainting and what to do if someone faints or you feel faint. It's very common, fainting, and it can happen excuse me, for lots of different reasons. It could be a reaction to pain, exhaustion, lack of food, emotional stress, exertion, so too much exercise, or you've overdone it slightly with a combination of lack of fluids and lack of food. Or it could just be you standing up in maybe a warm environment and not moving for a period of time. And the reason this happens is literally your body reacting to a lack of blood flow going to the brain. And so what your body or your brain naturally wants you to do is to get horizontals, to fall down. Because if we fall down, we're actually then, not fighting gravity, and blood rushes back to our brain, and very quickly we can be all right. So as I said, there's lots of reasons why people can actually faint there. We see it quite commonly, especially in the military. We used to see it a lot. People on parade, they'd be stood in their uniforms with the sun beating down on them. They couldn't move, and then all of a sudden down they go. And the sensation is basically feeling a little bit hot, probably a little bit nausea, maybe a little bit of tingling sensation in your fingers, bit of dizziness, and that's basically indication that you're losing that oxygenated blood in your brain. And down they go, and whatever injuries they cause on the way down. But very quickly, once they get into that horizontal position, then they should be fine. Probably a little bit embarrassed. I know in the military it does happen. I know I've done it myself, and it is very embarrassing. So this is the thing. It's called orthostatic intolerance when you're not moving, because orthostatic intolerance is basically a head-up position. So you're vertical. You're not moving, all the blood flows to your legs, all right, so you're losing the oxygenated blood in the brain there. Your heart is a great pump, it pumps blood around your body, but you still got gravity pulling the blood down to the bottom part of your body, and because you're not moving, you're not actually getting the blood flowing to the top part of the body. Okay, which is where obviously we need it, especially up in the brain there. And as I said, you'll start getting these symptoms and then you fall down. Now sometimes people faint and they don't even realise they're going to faint. It's all very, very sudden. Okay, I remember doing quite a long run in London with a couple of friends, and we got sort of like to the pub and then all of a sudden one of the girls just fell straight down, and she started losing, you could see the pallor, the colour in her face just went, and then she just went down. So all we did then was like caught her as she went down, luckily, and then raised her legs up. Okay, so immediately as you see somebody is going to faint, help them down to the ground and elevate the legs, and very quickly all that blood is then going to go back to the brain, reoxygenate the brain sufficiently, and they will recover. So again, we've got to just watch out for these indications. Again, if your casualty has fainted, find out why they fainted. It could be a lack of food. They could have exerted themselves too much. They could have been stood still for too long and not just getting that blood flow around the body. So again, find out why they've actually fainted in the first place. It could be a medical condition. It could be because they're pregnant. Pregnant women are quite prone to fainting. What is important when you've got a pregnant woman that is fainting, obviously help them down to the ground. Open doors, windows, give them some fresh air, like everybody, because they need a bit more fresh air. And then make sure you lie that pregnant woman on their left hand side, okay? Because what we've got the vena cava, which is an artery which feeds the uterus. It's one of the main arteries there, and if we lean them to their right hand side, we could restrict blood flow, and that can actually be dangerous to both mummy and baby. So just tilt them slightly to their left hand side. So if they're lying on their backs there, then tilt them up. What you could do is put a jumper or something underneath the right hip there and just take that pressure off. So anyone that has actually fainted, then leave them in that position until they're ready to get back up again. Because what might happen is if you try and rush them up, or they try and rush up, which is more likely the case because they could be a bit embarrassed, they might feel dizzy again. So just tell them to take their time. If they do get up and they feel dizzy again, then just repeat the process. If you have any concerns about the casualty, about that person that's fainted, then get help, seek medical advice, or advise them to. It's important that we do look after each other. Now, I can't see any comments this evening. Let's have a look. I think I've just waved at someone. Hi, Debbie. So if you've got any questions, let's have a look. Let's see if they're going to come up about this or about anything to do with first aid, then obviously just give me a shout. If you're going to watch this on repeat, then just let me know. And if you want to make a comment, then just obviously put the comments in and I can come back with regards to that. It doesn't have to be about fainting, it can be about anything to do with first aid, and we can talk about that. Oh, I've got some messages coming in. Hey Tab. Emma Nicole, yes, hello. If you faint and you're on your own, what's the best course of action when you come round? Stay where you are until you are feeling a lot better. Rehydrate, and then just think about why you might have passed out. It might be, as I said, food and rehydration and things like that. So you want to sort of like make sure you've got fluids on board. But if you continue to feel dizzy, then obviously seek medical help. Might have missed that, but no, it's fine, Emma Nicole, don't worry about that at all. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions at all. There's always a bit of a delay on here. Right. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Emma Nicole. Right, I will be back with you next week. Now, I'm really hoping that we've got Katie Parker coming to join us next week, and we're going to talk about ticks, which is, it's such a joyous subject. Ticks, aren't they? And obviously what Lyme disease is, and again about safe removal of ticks. Has anyone had to remove ticks from their children this summer? Or their pets? That's quite common. But I've seen more and more ticks around this year than I've ever seen, and they're tiny little nymph ones, which are really difficult to get off the body. It's fun, isn't it? Whether it's being a parent or taking them off yourself, it's always a great challenge. And I'm hoping a friend of mine is going to pop onto the live on Wednesday, and she's got some good stories about ticks. All right, if there is a good story about it. Oh well, we'll find out. Nice to see you all. Thanks for joining me. Bye.